that should do it. So, happy Friday. I hope everybody has had a good week. Let me get comfortable here. I have to resituate some things. And there we go. Oh, it has been a day. It's actually been a whole fucking week. No worries, lazy bear. I know you're doing Apex with some other people, so we're all good. I appreciate you lurking, though. I gotta fix all of my damn commands, because I've noticed my shoutouts aren't working, like just a bunch of things aren't working properly. So, things to work on. Alright. But yeah, so this week has just been absolutely crazy. It was... So last week, my elder child got double pink eye. Hey, woman. Or I guess your wifey. Your wifey. Let me get that right. God damn. There. Now it should stay in place. So, dealing with the remnants of a double pink eye on a child. And then, same child ended up with a possible ear infection. So we were dealing with all of that this week. Which is why I just could not stream. And then it was just one thing after the next. Today they had off of school. No clue why. No clue why. That was... I am so glad I ended up having a play date scheduled halfway through the day, because in my house there's the foyer, the living room, and then everything connects to the kitchen. And my daughter was on Minecraft for 30 minutes, okay? My son had to give up the TV for 30 minutes. He started just losing his shit. I'm bored! I'm bored! I'm like, dude, you have an entire rec room full of toys. Figure it out. And he's just like, I'm bored, and he's throwing himself on the furniture, and then he starts walking laps. I kid you not. From the foyer to the kitchen, to the living room, to the foyer, the kitchen, the living room. Just circles. And I'm like, hey, you want something to do? Go outside and pick up the dog shit. No! Okay. Okay. You have walked past the same 3 giant dinosaurs at least 4 times. How about you either move them or play with them? And he goes, I don't want to play with my dinosaurs. And I was like, how about you get them out of the fucking hallway? And he's just like, I'm bored. And I was like, you know what? Either you stop moving or I'm going to tie your ass to a chair. Those are your options. So then he immediately started grabbing the dinosaurs and took them up to the rec room. I'm like, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Oh. Thankfully, after that, we had to get ready to go to this play date. They were outside. Yes. He needed... Oh, that child. It was the same child that did the fucking sound effects. Yes. But, they were outside for 2 hours just playing with the other kids. And then we had to come home. And as I was at this play date, I got a message from my other mom friend who's got 3 kids. And she goes, hey, I need help. She's like, I have to go to this appointment, these 2 appointments at 5:30 and 6:15. Would you be able to watch my kids for me? And I was like, fuck it, I'm already going insane today. Let's just make it worse. So the 6:15 appointment fell through. So she was here at 6:15 to pick up the kids. A Red Bull? What do you mean? The Red Bull. I didn't have a Red Bull today. Oh, the Red Bull! You're lucky. I had 2 of them. I had 2 Red Bulls in 3 hours. And one of them might have had tequila in them. Well, that's the thing, piggies. That's the thing. I had 3 bonus children on top of my 2. And then they went and picked up the neighbor kid! I had so many kids, it was like I was running a fucking free daycare. We're not here for a long time. We're just here for a good time. Yes. I have an appointment with a PCP. Give me a break. I'm getting a primary care. I don't plan on living long. Just here for a good time. And to traumatize my children. But at least I'm taking my vitamins. So there's that. All right. To recap, we are reading Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. We are at chapter... I don't even fucking know. Let's see. Oh, and they don't have chapters. I don't know. Either way, just to do a quick recap, they have started the first competition for their serial killer hunt. Rowan is the Butcher of Massachusetts, or Mass. And he does this as a hobby, where he's got 2 brothers. One is a doctor, the youngest is a doctor, and the elder is a professional killer. He does it for all the alphabet agencies. And then our female is Sloane. And we don't really know a whole lot about, but she has been dubbed the Orb Weaver because of what she does with fishing line and eyeballs and other random body parts. So Rowan had found Sloane locked in a cage after she had killed another serial killer. And they had exchanged phone numbers after he had taken her out for food, and then basically really didn't talk for a year. Then they met up again and started doing this competition, which Rowan's brother Lachlan picks the serial killer, doesn't give them any other details about what state to go to or what city to go to, and they have to figure it out. And then whoever finds the serial killer first gets to kill them. After that, she ends up going... They were talking, and it's been like 6 months since Rowan got the kill. And Sloane was missing him, but she doesn't want to admit that she was missing him. So she ends up going out to Rowan's restaurant, where he is a chef, and she chickens out to actually see him. And she's starting to have to deal with feelings that she's not used to, because right at the end of the chapter it says, I turn the phone off and set it on the coffee table, then drop my head into my palms and hope they can absorb me into another world. One where I don't have to feel anything, because revenge is easy, but everything else is hard. Thank you, Piggies, for the ban. So from here, we're going to pick up, and it will be in Rowan's point of view. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to more of their competitions and more of the dynamic of the slow burn romance that they've got going. So let me get comfy. And I got my koala blankie. I actually got this as a Christmas present before I start reading. For the day I snap, if I ever end up on an episode of Snapped, yes, this would be my autobiography. It would make a lot of sense. All right. I was checking to make sure my husband hadn't called. He called while I was trying to get the kids in bed. And I tried to call him back and he did not answer. Cut my finger. Huh. Why did that happen? Alright then. No blood, no issues, whatever. Piggies, can you hear the music okay today? Because I know last week Friday that was an issue. Because I purposely turned my headset down, but it didn't look like it affected the volume for stream. But I could be wrong. No blood, no guts, no coconuts. Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. Heavy breathing, yes. There we go. That's what I needed to do. Good try. Good try. I didn't expect it. And this is a prime opportunity to use those because A for effort, yes. A for effort, but remember, I am dead inside, so you're gonna have to try just a tad bit harder. Oh. Yes, the hyperfocus will be very real here. So Rowan has now, right in the very first paragraph, has hunted down Sloane's address, and now he is like, he paid a kid to drop something off at her apartment. He's just kind of stalking her. Any other time, that would be a giant red flag. Oh, he's planning on doing it tomorrow, too. Oh, it was a week later. Oh, you've got to be kidding. Now my husband decides to call. No, screw it. No, he gets to be declined for right now. I told him what was happening at 8:30. Guess he'll have to just log into Twitch. Hi, King. How are you? Are you feeling any better? Did you make the taco soup? Sorry, I'm throwing too many questions out at you. Just trying to catch up on our conversations. All right. So apparently it's been a week since she showed up at his restaurant, 3 in Coach. And now he's found her address and is having things delivered to her place while watching as the kid delivers the shit. Oh, that's so good. I love, like, that's one of my big things is I love to cook for others. Like, just ask Piggies or Lazy Bear. Like, cooking for other people is definitely part of my love language. The problem is my family rarely eats what I fucking cook. And I'm a damn good cook. Sucks. Because, like, so, you know those Burger King chicken wraps that have been popular recently? My kids apparently like them, and me and my husband like them, so the other day I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get some chicken tenders, like crispy chicken tenders, and make my own version. Because my son doesn't like mayo, but I have Chick-fil-A sauce. Like, my husband and my son love the Chick-fil-A sauce. So and my daughter likes ranch. So I'm like, perfect. I will just make up a batch of chicken tenders and make our own chicken wraps, right? We ended up devouring the chicken tenders. So I then, when was that? Yesterday. I went through and I made street tacos. All of a sudden, out of the fucking blue, my kids don't like my street tacos anymore. So I made a large batch of guacamole. I made a large batch of pico de gallo. 3 pounds of ground beef. Like, I had so much for fixings. And nobody wanted it. None of it. So I was like, well, great. What do you guys want to eat then? And they were like, we want more chicken wraps. I was like, well, the problem is I'm out of chicken tenders, like crispy chicken tenders. But I do have chicken thighs that I could cook up in the oven. Just toss them, like, throw some seasonings on it, chuck it in the oven, and then slice it up into little strips. And they're like, yes. So I did that as I'm in the middle of cooking everything else, because I'm apparently a short order chef. And thankfully, they all ended up liking the wraps that way too. So at least they went to bed full. But it was just absolutely insane. Oh, what a shit. Sorry, back to the book. So, the thing that Rowan had delivered is orzo. Now, for those of you that were here from the very beginning of the book, when Sloane was stuck in the cage and the maggots burst out of the cereal, that what was his name, Albert? Yeah, Albert. Yeah, so when the maggots finally burst through Albert's body, Sloane had said it looked like orzo. I found out what's in the bag that Rowan sent Sloane. The first text message, well, it says, I'm peering around the tree trunk towards the house when the phone vibrates in my hand. Orzo? ? I lean against the bark and grin down at my phone. You deliver orzo pasta? Did you deliver orzo pasta to my house? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, he's actually trying to give her a goddamn recipe. Now that I read the rest of the text messages, I thought it was an inside joke to the fucking maggots. There's two types of people. I would have sent her orzo as a fucking joke. He says, but since it's there, you might as well get it out. And if there's Parmesan in the bag, you should probably start grating that. Oh, and mince some garlic too, if there is any. Are there mushrooms? Maybe wash those. Asparagus goes well as a side. Is there asparagus? He literally sent her all of the ingredients to make whatever he's got going here. There's definitely two types of people. Whoops. Very interesting. So she calls him. She's like, why? She's like, what are you doing? Her voice is wary, but I still detect a faint trace of amusement beneath her trepidation. He goes, I'm not sure what you mean. You delivered food to my house? There's a pause. I imagine she's probably checking the windows, looking for any sign of me. I have food, Rowan. Good for you. I think that qualifies you as a fully fledged adult. And so she asks again, what are you doing? What I should have done the other day. I'm cooking with you, I say. We're going to make it together. Put the phone on speaker and start grating the Parmesan. He's going to walk her through what to do to cook the orzo and the rest of the ingredients. My voice is low. The amusement burned away when I say, I wish you would have stayed, Blackbird. I would have taken you back into the kitchen. We could have made something together. You were busy. I was intruding. I would have made time for you. I swallow before I can say more than I should. You're my friend. Maybe someday my best friend. It's so cute! Yeah. I know. I mean, he stalked her. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. But, I mean, sending her food and trying to walk her through how to cook it and... Yeah, I don't know. It's cute! It's a good thing it's fiction. She says, I'm supposed to grate this whole block of cheese? It's the size of a small baby. I know I must look ridiculous grinning like a fucking lunatic next to a tree, but I don't give a shit. Oh wow, Sloane is it's called a study doctor. She says, okay, maybe y'all can help me work this out because I've never heard of this before for a job. So he says, so you said you were in Boston for work. A meeting? She says, yeah. What kind of meeting? An investigator meeting. He goes, that sounds terrifying. Sloane lets go of a quiet laugh. Yes and no. They're not investigators like police investigators. It's what we call study doctors who run our trials at the clinics. An investigator meeting is where we train them and their staff on the study. The meetings are only a bit scary if you have to present. So, I'm trying to work it out in my head. So it would almost be like training doctors for like experimental trials. That's what I'm thinking is her job. So she has like new medications or something like that, and she has to teach. I know I'm totally overthinking her job description. I just really want to make sense of it. Because for once, she's actually like, the main character is actually a professional and not like someone that runs her own bar or works at a bar or is a waitress or whatever, and you know, all of that. Especially since I believe she's supposed to be an orphan and has been in foster care her entire life. That's what I'm assuming. kind of cute, because yes, I know he stalked her, but he's sending her groceries, talking her through making the groceries. And now, the second day, he brought a pre-made salad so that he could eat with her as she refuses to let him in the house to actually, like, teach him, or teach her how to cook. It's like a long-distance relationship, but he's across the street. By a tree. Hmm. Oh, she does have a family, but she doesn't, they're basically no contact. Like, they only keep in touch on her birthday and Christmas. The fourth day, he just watches. He watches her door, and she, at one point, opens the door, takes a few steps outside. She looks down the street, her brow furrowed. I shift out of view when her gaze pans in my direction as she assesses the other end of the road. But there's no kid, no groceries. She steps back inside, locks the door. The curtains sweep away from the window, only to fall once more. After a few more minutes, I walk away. I'm in my rental car, already driving toward the airport when a text buzzes on my burner. But I force myself not to read it, not until I'm back in my apartment in Boston. Because I know if I do, there's a chance I'll tear the fucking door off the plane to get back to Jasmine Street. He's so fucking in love with her. Thank you for the band, love. So he pours himself a glass of whiskey, and he opens the unread message from Sloan. It says, I missed you today. I also realized I can't cook for shit without you. I don't think I'm a fully fledged adult after all. Oh, he says, I missed you too. Next time you're back in Boston for another one of those meetings, we'll make fig... Why am I not... I know this word! I know it! I can't wrap my head around it. Either way, they're gonna make something. And he goes, at first I'm not sure she will reply, given the late hour and how long I left it to send a response. But almost immediately I see 3 dots flicker, and then I'd like that. Hey, our Blackbird's catching feelings. How are your kids? Oh, they're gonna have another competition in a couple of weeks. She's reading a sign language book. Is she... Yay for reading. Is she also practicing? I was gonna say... How to do sign language, yeah. I mean, at least she's learning something. So there's that. All right. Looks like the next serial killer that they're hunting, that Sloane is hunting, is named Thorsten Harris. Oh, that's so funny. So she is now hunting Thorsten and seeing what he likes and what he doesn't like and how to make him believe you're smart enough to be an interesting conquest. You might be prey, but you're worth the risk to take a trophy, but you also have to come off just dumb enough that you would willingly accept his dinner invitation at his home tomorrow night, even though he's essentially a stranger. ... Or you can throw all that out the window and just be Rowan Kane. Fancy seeing you around these parts, Rowan says as he plops down next to her with a shit-eating grin. Sorry, just a random message came in. Oh, come on! That is such a cliche! Thorsten has poured him a generous glass of expensive Chianti. Chianti? Really? Really? I happen to know another serial killer / cannibal who loved Chianti with a little bit of fava beans and, you know, some liver or cheeks. Come on! Apparently Rowan has also managed to completely charm Thorsten into Thorsten inviting Rowan and Sloane to his house for dinner tomorrow night. Apparently, the only reason he knew where she was is because he's been stalking her. She goes, "You are such a cheat." "Am not. You've been following me around relentlessly to figure out who we're after rather than looking on your own. It's not in the rule book that I can't." We don't have a fucking rule book. We should. Rule number 1, do your own fucking research. She goes, you are the worst. I hiss as Rowan pulls open the driver's side door for me. You and your skullduggery. Skullduggery? What the fuck? Rowan snorts as he leans down into my vehicle, his face so close to mine that I feel his every breath on my cheek. I try to ignore the way it twists my belly with different kinds of fury. Sure, fury. Let's go with that. Skullduggery? Should I take this as a sign that you've moved on from dragon smut to pirate porn? Maybe I have. Oh my god! I just got triggered by this sentence because I've heard it so fucking much in my life. Oh, you know, you're kind of adorable when you're indignant. Sir? Sir. Do you know how many times I've had people... Now, for those of you who don't actually know, I am 5'4". I am not 5'9", 5'10", 6 foot. I am fucking short. Okay? I have big dick energy. That's why every single one of you that don't know me in real life and haven't seen me in real life think I'm fucking tall. Scorn. Bear. Yes. They were both very shocked to find out that I am actually 5'4". So, having tall people, especially my husband, who's 6'1", look down at me when I'm pissed off and go, "You're so cute when you're pissed off." I will end up. I am a pit bull in PJs. Yes. I am vicious. I am loyal. I would fuck up someone's day if you hurt me or mine. But I just want to be in jammies. I want to be fed and pet and told I'm pretty. That's what it comes down to. So yeah, that's not my kink. That's a you kink. I remember having to fight you off like 1.5 years ago because you were drunk trying to bite people, bitch. You're too much. I'm kidding. I love this. I do love you. Nom nom. I love this. Before he closes the door, his parting words, "You'll love me someday." This man has it so bad. It's so cute. The next day is not that day.
Don't think that you've seen in my head all my dreams. I'm changing.
This man is obsessed with Chianti wine. Wait a minute. I'm going to make a prediction. Okay. Rich man. Obsessed with Chianti wine. One of the trigger warnings. Accidental cannibalism. I'm thinking Thorsten is a cannibal. I'm thinking he's supposed to be Hannibal Lecter. Ooh, I just got the shivers. This is going to be interesting if I'm actually right. Oh, and Thorsten. Oh, it's all coming together. Okay. Lobotomized manservants. Accidental cannibalism. I think this is... Yes. I'm making connections. It says Thorsten picks up a little bell next to his place settings, its tinkling melody flooding the dining room. A moment later, a man enters with slow, careful steps, pushing a silver serving cart towards the table. He appears to be in his late 30s, tall, athletic, with broad shoulders that stoop as though the muscles have recently forgotten they have a job to do. Now listen. The yellowing remains of healing bruises rim his vacant eyes. This is David, Thorsten says, as David places a plate of hors d'oeuvres before me. David doesn't look up, just trudges back to the trolley where he fetches a plate for Rowan. Mr. Miller can't talk. He had a terrible accident recently, so I have taken him under my employ. Hi, Hector! How are you? I have not gotten to see you in like a frickin' year because I took a break. Well, I didn't take a break. I was forced to take a break because work and life and all the other shit. How are you? The yellowing bruises. The yellowing remains of healing bruises rim his vacant eyes. I'm thinking because I know about lobotomies. You have to go up through the eye socket to scramble the frontal lobe. His terrible accident was being lobotomized. Well, I'm proud of you. I know that can be so difficult when you're just like, I don't want to work out, but I need to and I want to. Like, you still want to go, but you just don't physically like have the spoons for it. I know I've been trying to be like really good about working out at home since I left the meat shop. Because like I would walk 6 miles a day. And I've actually dropped quite a bit of weight since in the last 2 years. So I don't want to go back now that I'm back to being a stay-at-home. So I made a goal where at least 3 days a week I either do a high intensity workout on the treadmill because we're low on workout supplies here at my house and I don't really want to pay for a gym membership. Or I will do like an hour of yoga Plus, it's really good to like have that meditation time and just feel your body stretching in a good way. Oh. Oh, good food makes you just so happy, doesn't it? Especially when you don't have to cook. I don't know what that's like. My husband can't cook. I'm the one that does all the cooking, but yeah, I love it when you just either get to come home to a really good meal or you end up making a really good meal. King Dork was telling me that he made some taco soup because he hasn't been feeling well. And there's no leftovers. Yeah, I could not wake up at 4 a.m. It was bad enough, honestly. If I had not had the 2 Red Bulls today, I would have been passed out asleep already. Because last night I was woken up so much. And then on top of it, I also woke up with like a headache that went from the right side of my neck all the way to my temple. And I was like, I do not have time for this today. My children are home from school and we have a play date. And that was before I took in 3 bonus children for about an hour and a half. But we're doing something new for now until I can get... I can't say it personally, but my friends say I'm losing weight. Yeah, I don't blame you on that one. I'm proud of you for losing weight. You know, you do whatever makes you feel good about yourself. Do you feel for your morning shift? Yeah, I've been cutting back on my soda intake because I'm addicted to Mountain Dew. And I don't want to be anymore, but I know I need the caffeine. So I've been just drinking like 2 cups of coffee in the morning. And then I've been trying to be really good about if I want, like, it's mostly the carbonation that I really crave. I'll either get like, right now we have Fanta, orange Fanta in the house because the kids love it. So I'll drink like half of a can of that. Or I will just make do and go without any soda and just drink straight water all day. Like literally, I got this for Christmas. It was custom made and it's got little koalas. Oh, sure. See, and that was always my problem. I would always grab a Mountain Dew and head to work. Like, I have been drinking Mountain Dew since before I can even remember. And I remember my mom going through such withdrawals. It does. Yeah. So, but I've been filling this up all day long. Ever since I got it for Christmas. Well, you think that's bad? Look at my blankie. Actually, both of these came from the same person. Gotta be on theme. But yeah, I'm hoping once I can get a new PC, because the one, like this laptop and my husband's PC where I was streaming from, the storage is just shot to shit. So once I can get some new parts and I can start streaming, I want to start streaming Rocket League again. I want to go back to the OG. But for now, I've been a major bookworm since I've been 14, and I just thought it would be fun to start reading and reviewing books more so than just reviewing books when I was doing the podcast about a year ago. Venners instead of Pepsi now? What is Venners? Burners? What is that, King? Because I've tried like sparkling water, like carbonated water, and I can't. I don't like the aftertaste. Like, I can't get past it. But yeah, so now so last week Friday I started reading this book, Butcher and Blackbird, and it is a dark romantic comedy. There's a lot of trigger warnings in here, and it's about Rowan and Sloane. They are... Oh, it's ginger ale. Oh, I love ginger ale. I usually get Seagram's or Canada Dry. Whatever I just grab, usually. So Rowan and Sloane are... Sloane is known as the Orb Weaver. She is a pretty well-known serial killer, and Rowan is known as the Butcher of Mass. And they go around and kill people. Except they kind of do it Dexter style, and they go after other serial killers. And they met out on a job, and Rowan has fallen madly in love with Sloane. Sloane rejects her feelings, much like me. And he's trying very hard to get her to come around. So in order to keep her interested in talking to him, he's decided that they should have a competition to find... Like, they get a city and a state. And they have to go... Cousin drank it a lot when he used to live in Michigan, but I found it here at Walmart. Oh, wow. 2 hours. Damn. That's a haul, but if you like it, I mean, it's worth it at that point. So they have a competition. Rowan's brother Lachlan works for, like, the alphabet government people, agencies, and so he knows where all the serial killers are. So Lachlan gives them a city and a state, and they have to try and find the serial killer. And whoever finds the serial killer first gets to kill them. So right now they're at this guy Thorsten's house, and Thorsten is rich. He seems to have a thing for Chianti wine, and he has a lobotomized manservant. I'm thinking he is supposed to be like a Hannibal Lecter. So this should get really interesting. Huh. Yeah. At first I was just like, Chianti. What? And then there's also a, so there's, the list of trigger warnings is intense. There's, and this is why I'm thinking he's supposed to be Hannibal Lecter, because it says accidental cannibalism. Lobotomized manservant. Ill-advised use of kitchen implements. Like, and this guy, the serial killer that Rowan and Sloane are currently targeting, his name is Thorsten, and he has this thing about inviting his victims back to his house. So that's why I'm like, wait a minute, he's obsessed with Chianti. He wants people at his house. Like, it's starting to line up, and now he's got a lobotomized manservant. I find this very interesting, though, that... So, Rowan is a chef, and him and Thorsten are talking about food. And, you know, things that could just balance out the dish that they were just served. And Rowan seems pleased that the two discuss the tomato varieties that Thorsten grows on the property. I would love to see your garden, Rowan says after Thorsten details the other herbs and produce he nurtures in the backyard. Thorsten's pleasant mask slips, a feral gleam igniting in his eyes before a blink carries it away. I will purposely, if I want to just scare the shit out of people, I will gladly grab a bottle of Chianti and swirl that shit as I stare you in the eyes. So then Thorsten says, "Oh, I'm sure that can be arranged." Huh. You're... Bitch, you're stuck with me. You're stuck with me. Don't worry, King. So am I. I just have generations. Bitch, I'm not threatening you. You would just get turned on. Bullshit. Scorn isn't scared either. Bullshit. Bullshit. You're a fucking masochist. You'd enjoy every goddamn second. Too much. Too much. Scorn likes to pretend he's big and bad, but he's a fucking teddy bear. Just look at his new dog. That dog has him whipped. Just calling out bullshit. Just like I do all the time. Oh. Yeah, that's probably for the best. She's trying to tell Rowan that David has had a lobotomy. And so it says, lobotomy, I mouth at him, trying to make it look like I'm scratching my forehead when I tap it and nod towards David. Rowan's head tilts, and I roll my eyes, gritting my teeth. Lobotomy. Rowan's head tilts in the other direction, his brow still furrowed, but a hint of a grin playing at his lips. He subtly points at me, then at him. You love me? He mouths. No. Oh, Rowan is either pretending to be drunk or he's drunk. Thorsten's restraint buckles as the approaching trolley squeaks in the hallway, a beaming, ravenous grin claiming his features as his refined mask peels away. Either that or he fucking drugged Rowan. But Rowan doesn't notice. He just smiles at me, swaying slightly in his chair, a glassy sheen coating his half-lidded eyes. You look so pretty, Blackbird, he says as David enters the room with 3 covered dishes on the trolley. Oh. I think he got drugged. You always look so pretty. You always look pretty. When you came to the restaurant, I said. Rowan hiccups twice, then drowns the next one with a gulp of wine. I said, Sloane is the most beautiful girl in the world. Oh. All of the above. Yes, possibly. And then my brother called me a feckin' idiot because I could have all the pussy I wanted in Boston, but instead I've taken a vow of abstinence. A vow of abstinence. Abstinence? Abstinence over a girl who doesn't want me. Oh my god. I love this. I have no idea what this word is. It's a type of meat, apparently. So she tries to get his attention again by saying his name, Rowan. But his attention has dropped to the dish set before him. Beef Nicoise. I'm probably butchering that, honestly. Rowan chimes in with a delighted smile as he takes up his knife and fork. I glance at Thorsten, who watches Rowan with rapt attention. I love beef Nicoise. Yes, our host says as he lays a folded piece of paper-thin, rare meat on his tongue. Nicoise. Obviously, I'm probably butchering this. Rowan, I'm so curious to know your thoughts, Chef. Thorsten barrels on. This is my special take on a traditional version. The meat is gamey! Oh, I'm sorry. I got rid of Boo. Boo ended up getting hacked. And it was fucking up a lot of streamers' stuff. So I had to get rid of Boo. But I will hydrate in place of Boo. Oh. Oh, Rowan just passed out face first into his plate. I was right. I was right. There was a beat of silence. Thorsten and I stare at the man sleeping on a bed of salad with thinly sliced rare human steak hanging out of his mouth. Oh, no. And then it shifts to Rowan's point of view. So the last line, oh man, okay. So because she does not like the wine, she wasn't drinking much of it, which has saved her from whatever is happening to Rowan. I hold Thorsten's confused gaze as I push the stem of my wine glass over, toppling it onto my plate. The crystal shatters, chipping the china, flooding the salad with blood-colored wine. Well, I say as I sit back in my chair, laying my hand on the surface of the table with the watered steel blade clutched in my palm. I guess it's just you and me now. I think he got roofied. But wouldn't that have been affecting Rowan, Sloane? Like, if he... Because he's been drinking the wine too, so... Either that or... I mean, that's honestly my idea too. My thought was that Rowan got roofied, but maybe, because now it shifts to Rowan's point of view.
You made me feel and I hate it. Admit you made it hard to fake it. Yeah, you broke.
So it starts with, my first conscious thought is a single word, one that slurs past my lips as if stuck in viscous syrup. Sloan. My second thought is the awareness of the steady beat of music. At first I was convinced it was my heartbeat, but I was wrong. A man's angelic voice floats above light drums and a dreamy guitar melody that reminds me of the desert at sunset. I recognize the melody Knives Out from Radiohead. Sloane's raspy, rich voice fills my chest with relief. I know she's okay. Thank fuck, because I am not okay. Screams fill the room as I open my eyes. A vaguely familiar candelabra comes into view, laden with gaudy crystals. I try to focus on them as the rest of the table swirls at the edges of my vision. Just hold still, Sloane says, gritting out every word over the man's garbled cries. I'd say it would hurt less if you stopped struggling, but that's a total lie. She's straddling the terrified man seated in the chair at the head of the table, shielding him from view. Some of the evening comes swimming through the soup of wine and sedatives, clouding my thoughts. There, yep, okay. There we go, there's the answer. He didn't get roofied, but he got drugged, that's for damn sure. Yeah, just a little snip. There you go. The screaming stops abruptly, and Sloane's shoulders sag with disappointment. Wuss. She reaches behind her without turning around, her gloved fist covered. Nope. Well, with what I'm about to read, yes. Her gloved fist covered with blood, and drops a severed eyeball next to another already resting on the bread plate next to my head. I retch. Sloane whips around at the sound. In the bowl, Rowan! Jesus Christ! Yes. Yes. I thought I made it very clear. It's serial killers killing serial killers. It's Dexter on steroids with romance and comedy. So he ends up throwing up in the bowl, and he asks, how long have I been out? She says, a couple of hours. She passes me an unopened bottle of water with one hand, drags the bowl away with the other. Sloane looks toward the door to the hallway, hesitating. I need to ditch this, but David is freaking me the fuck out. Has he threatened you? If he fucking threatened you, I swear to God, not at all, Sloane says, pushing me back down on the chair when I try to stand. My body pitches to one side. She tries to smile, I think, but it comes out like a grimace. He seems pretty harmless. Then what's the problem? He's eating in the kitchen. I shake my head, not following what she's laying down. The next courses. The food. Yes! That's exactly it. That's what most people eat. Food. The color has drained from Sloane's face. Yeah. Most. I don't get it. You ate a fucking person, she blurts out. I blink at Sloane once before pulling the bowl back to heave again. Did you know it was a rump roast? I tortured Thorsten until he told me I had to dig human ass out of your mouth. Oh. He says, at least you didn't fucking swallow it, Sloane. Why the fuck didn't you stop me? She goes, I tried, but you just went for it. Don't you remember? Shit, I do remember. I remember a lot more than that. Sloane watches me a little too closely. She's not as apathetic as she tries to appear. The longer I stare, the more her indifferent mask crumbles. A faint blush rises beneath the freckles, dusting her cheeks and nose. This fucking girl. Panicking because I gave her a glimpse into how I feel. Clearly nervous about a conversation she's desperate not to have, ready to fly. And I would do anything to keep her around, even if it means taking a hammer to my own heart. No, I shake my head as my gaze drifts toward the centerpiece. The last thing I remember is David coming through the door with the trolley. I don't recall anything after that. When I glance up, Sloane's lips twitch. It's almost a smile. Her eyes are a little softer. Fuck. No worries. We'll talk later. Honestly, I'm probably not going to be on that much longer. I've got a long day ahead of me tomorrow. I've got a big banquet for my husband's work I got to go to, and I got to get the kids out to my mom. But I appreciate you coming in and hanging out. I'm sorry if I traumatized you with this book. Just as I suspected, she's fucking relieved. I absorbed the venom of this burning sting. I drop my head into my hands. She'll never know how I remember every second of my embarrassing, unrequited confession. I'll never forget the way her skin flushed such a pretty shade of pink when I said she was beautiful. Oh. Oh. It's so sad. And I know she needs a friend just as much as I do. I look towards Thorsten, and for the first time I really focus on the scene around me. Orb Weaver, I whisper, and my breath catches in my chest at the beautiful horror of an intricate web that shimmers in the candlelight. Sloane, how? Her smile is bashful as she pushes away from the table with a shrug. I had time to kill. His head hangs against his chest as blood drips down his face from the lightless caverns where his eyes once were. Nearly done, she says, patting him on the shoulder as she stops to examine the pattern of fishing line the fishing line behind him that extends from the floor to the ceiling. Some lines intersect, others layer behind one another. Some are a thicker gauge than others. The thinner lines tied in delicate knots to hold the heavier thread in specific angles or approximations of curves. At different points and depths, there are thin pieces of flesh hanging from the web. Honestly, that sounds... this is really fucked. But that would be kind of cool to see. Like, to turn off humanity and just be like... It sounds like such a work of art. She says, you might want to look away, pretty boy. Fuck off, I'm not squeamish. You sure? My stomach is not sure. Usually I'm not squeamish. I'll be fine. 100% positive? I'd rather watch you make skin ornaments and eye baubles than go to the kitchen and check on lobotomy David. Let's just go with that. Thank you for the ban, my dear. Wow. The web that she makes with every murder or every serial killer that she, you know, takes out is a fucking map to their last victims. This is the scale, she tells me as she points to the eyes set 1 meter apart above Thorsten's unconscious head. 1 meter equals 10 kilometers on this map. Sloane pulls me closer. Heat radiates from her body to warm her ginger and vanilla scent. She leads me to the edge of the first layer of fishing line and then lets go of my hand to step behind me. Her fingers wrap around my upper arms as she rises on her tiptoes to look over my shoulder. It's hard to do, but try to imagine it in 3 dimensions. 1 layer is for streets, 1 is for wetlands, another is for soils. If those idiot investigators would take each section of the design and layer into ArcGIS software, they'd have enough to make a topographic map. The piece from his chest in the center of the web is this house. Every other little bit of Thorsten represents the last known whereabouts of missing persons he's taken or killed. Sloane's arm rests on my shoulders as she points to a piece of skin wound in fishing line. That's for a man named Bennett, who he killed 2 months ago. I took it from Thorsten's bicep. B for Bennett. Wow. The detail. Did David beg you to stop when you decided to play lobotomy Barbie with his face? Oh. Oh. I'm learning. Okay, so apparently we're getting a bit of Sloane's history. So she doesn't really have much of a relationship with her folks. They really only talk on her birthday and for Christmas. And she's talking to the Hannibal Lecter guy. She says, "You remind me of the man you remind me of. He presented such a civilized mask to the world, yet underneath he was a devil. He promised the best education, the best opportunities for students gifted in the arts. He promised a safe place to learn and the best chance for getting into the most exclusive universities for those of us whose parents were wealthy enough to pay the price. And since mine were never around, they didn't notice the price I truly paid." "I could take it," she says. "I could cope. I had an end in sight, and in a way I was learning. I was learning how to keep my rage and darkness beneath a mask so I could carry on in the world. So I kept my mouth shut as I gave pieces of myself away. But you know the one price I could not pay?" She asks as she stops behind Thorsten. Her smile is gone. She stares straight ahead, her eyes nearly black in the dim light. Her voice is low and drips with menace when she says, "The price I could never pay was Lark." Lark is her best friend. Like, Lark is the only one who knows that Sloane is a serial killer. "She was the only person I cared about. When I found out what he was doing to her, what she had been hiding, I did some hiding of my own. That same night that she confessed someone else's sins to me, I waited in the shadows. I made a vow in the dark that I would wipe out everyone like him that I could find, that I wouldn't stop until I found the worst, the darkest, the most depraved, and I would erase them from the world one at a time. And I promised myself that I would never let anyone hurt someone I cared about ever again." Lark. L-A-R-K. You're good, you're good. Wow. Wow. Ooh. So she finished off Thorsten, but she's still stuck in that memory. So Rowan goes over and shifts her away from Thorsten to him. "You're okay. Lark is okay," I whisper as I slide one arm across her back. When Sloane doesn't react, I fold my other arm around her too until she's caged in my embrace. "You did good." There's no change in her, not even when I tighten my arms or lean my head on her shoulder. "I'm okay too," I continue, "though I might need some antacid. Something about that homemade Dijon dressing just isn't sitting quite right. Not sure what it could be." Sloane lets out a breath of laugh and leans some of her weight against my chest. Wherever she's gone, I know in this moment that I can bring her back. "David might have some pointers for me. Sounds like he's having no trouble with dinner." "It's really bad, Rowan," she says into his shirt, her voice muffled. "When I went into the kitchen to get the bowl, he had half a sausage link hanging from his mouth." "That doesn't sound so bad." "It was raw!" "Okay, yep, that's pretty bad." I swallow down the uncomfortable protests of my stomach and cleanse the imagery from my mind with a deep breath of Sloane's ginger scent. It's fucking raw! "It's too quiet," she whispers. "I don't like it." Maybe he wandered off. Or maybe he's in a meat coma. Christ, too soon. We lean forward and peer through the door. David is sitting on the counter, his legs swinging and his gaze vacant as he spoons what seems to be cookies and cream ice cream into his mouth straight from the tub. That's a relief, I say, to let go of a held breath. He's living his best life. Sloane's shoulders drop and she watches David for a moment before heading into the room with careful steps as though not to spook him. He tracks her movement as she stops at the sink to ditch the contents of the bowl before dousing everything with bleach, but he doesn't move, just keeps slowly digging into the pint of ice cream. Okay, now I'm getting kind of worried because one of the other trigger warnings was cookies and cream ice cream. I'm sorry about the cookies and cream ice cream. I'm not really. I thought it was. I'm scared. Oh. So he's asking Sloane how she figured out that it was Thorsten. And she's explaining her motives. I don't know. Now I'm scared. She says, after that, I went through local real estate purchases from the last few years and bingo, found him. Did you consider at any point that you might want to clue me in about a cannibal inviting us over for dinner, I ask? Sloane shrugs, her attention still not shifting to me. Maybe, mostly only when I was scraping human meat off of your tongue. Up until then, no. I can't say I did. You insisted on worming your way into my dinner invite after all. No! Oh no! actor, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, for that reaction, I know I have to share this. But I really don't want to. I'm so sorry, Hector. I'm so sorry for what I'm about to read. Oh, fuck. Sloane goes over to David. Hey, David, I'm Sloane, she says. He doesn't acknowledge her words, just watches her as he slides a spoonful of ice cream into his mouth. Hi, Scorn! I'm so sorry for what's about to happen. I'm so sorry. As he slides a spoonful of ice cream into his mouth. Maybe we should take a break from the food. What do you say? Sloane's smile is sweet, her movement fluid and graceful as she grasps the tub with one hand and the spoon with the other, then gently pulls them from David's grip. He doesn't protest and relinquishes both items at her request. Well, she says as she saunters closer to me, her dimple a shadow of restrained amusement as she keeps her eyes fused to the plain white tub in her hand. She's still reading the homemade label when she draws to a halt in front of me. I might never look at ice cream the same way again. I don't want to know. Ingredients. Cream, Sloane. Sugar, I'm begging you, I say, but as soon as beg leaves my lips, Sloane's grin ignites. My stomach flips in the most uncomfortable way. Sloane clears her throat. I really hope I don't get muted or banned for this. It's a book review. It's a book review. Sloane clears her throat. Semen, milked April 10th to April 13th. That's an interesting substitute to salt. Sure, let's go with that. The vanilla bean sweet and salty flavor. Oh, bear. Oh. Oh, bear. You missed it. You missed it. Probably for the best. Probably for the best. Everybody else here regrets being here. Yep. No. No. I won't read it again. I won't read it again. Come on. need my phone to actually work. My phone is freaking the fuck out. Oh, Lord. I wonder what they're gonna do with David. With lobotomized David. Get hit by a snake, then hear that again. Oh, dork, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. There, Bear. Now you can understand why we're all losing our shit. Now back to Rowan's point of view. I push past her and vomit into the sink to the sound of her traitorous laugh. Christ sakes, what a fucking weirdo. It honestly, like, that whole thing just reminded me of the, like, a joke that I heard a long, long time ago. Oh shit, how did it go? It was something along the lines of, I don't even think it was a joke anymore. I don't remember. Because it didn't really have, like, a punchline. It was like... Shit. Something along the lines of, like, a husband was trying to get his wife in the mood, and she was busy doing dishes. And he's like, come on, babe, come on, let's go have sex, Water flavored with the tears of people he has trapped in the basement that, despite broken promises, they know they will never see home again. No, because they were turned into a rump roast. They were turned into a fucking rump roast. Oh, man. But yeah, so he keeps bugging the wife. Let's go. Come on. She goes, no, I'm busy. And then he's just like, oh, come on. It'll take like 5 minutes. And she's like, you know what? Here. And puts a glass next to him. She goes, go take care of yourself. Put it in the glass and I'll drink it down later. Like, just leave me the fuck alone. Oh god, no, I'm gonna get Bear's reaction. Yes. He's now traumatized. Bear is all caught up and traumatized. Now they're discussing what to do with David. Lobotomize David. She's like, we can't just leave him. He's like, sure we can. He should be glad he didn't get eaten. He's in the clear. Dodged a bullet or a fork, Rowan says. And now he's got nothing. You could give him a place to work, a purpose. Have you noticed that we're in California? I live in Boston, Sloan. How the hell am I going to get him from here to there without arousing suspicion? I don't know. It's not like Winston. I can't just put him in a cat carrier and bring him with me. She's gonna make Rowan take lobotomized David and make him work as a dishwasher in his restaurant. That's what I'm foreseeing happening here. Yep, she is talking him into taking lobotomized David back to Boston. Ooh, Scorn. You're so lucky to have a woman like her. She makes amazing food. Granted, so do you. Your omelets are just top tier. Oh, hell yeah. Ooh, she's finally admitting that she lied about her reason for going to Boston. She goes, I lied. I lied, by the way, she says. Lied about what? I asked. Sloane swallows the only sound between us. And then her head turns just enough to give me her eyes and a melancholy smile that tips up one corner of her lips, the faint trace of her dimple coaxed into view. Boston. I wasn't there for a meeting. Her words echo in my head, and before I can absorb them or ask what she means, she hikes her bag up higher on her shoulder and walks away. See you next year, Butcher, she says, and then slips into her car and disappears into the night. I lied too, I want to say, but I just don't get the chance. Peppered chicken stir fry is pretty great. Ooh. We need to have, like, an actual catch-up day where I'm not helping y'all move or going to a funeral or just dropping off presents. Like, we need to have an actual hangout day. We need to get Ginger Ninja in on it too. Just have like a potluck night. That would be so much fun. Okay, so we're gonna fast forward into this book now. Into the story. It's been 8 months since they've seen each other. For the first 6 months, we've talked nearly every day in one form or another, sometimes just short text, sometimes just a meme or an article the other person would enjoy or a funny video. Sometimes they were long video calls, but lately, since he's been working on opening a second restaurant location, it's tapered off. Though I respond right away when he messages, it sometimes takes him a week to send back a short reply. Superficially, it seems like the ideal situation for me. There's less pressure. I'm not used to having people around. Even when Lark and I became close at boarding school, it took me a long time to be comfortable around her. Apparently, Lark is currently helping her pick out an outfit. Because I believe they're going to have another competition now. And so she's picked out this retro style dress. And Lark is totally like you, piggies. He's going to be floored by those boobs, Lark says. I snort a laugh. Wouldn't be the first time. My smile quickly fades as I plug in my curling iron and run some styling cream through my hair with my fingers. I need more to go on than just tits. You have murder too. He likes that. I roll my eyes and stare her down through the screen. Boobs plus murder don't equal a relationship, Lark. The math isn't mathing. Oh, she's starting to fall for him. Listen to this. We fall into silence as I start the first curls. She's joking about the murder part, of course. I know that. But I know how I feel about Rowan. And I know how I feel about Rowan. The more we talk, the more we laugh and play, the more I can't picture my life without him. But I'm scared as fuck. More scared of wanting something beyond a friendship with Rowan than I've been of anything else I've done in my weird, unconventional life. Hi, Naughty! How are you? I've missed you. I have missed streaming, but yeah, life just got crazy busy. So, it's a romance. It's a dark romance comedy. It's just two serial killers who kill serial killers that fall in love. Yeah, this last year of working, because I left the meat shop, literally just took it out of me. Yes. Naughty's popped in and out. You guys might have just been two ships passing in the night. You are not new. You have a mod sword, for Christ's sakes. You're not new. But yeah, so I left the meat shop because besides it just being an absolute clusterfuck, I was running the entire store for far too little and inconsistent pay, along with verbal abuse. Like, I was just done. I would come home so mentally drained that it was hard for me to even keep up with the kids, keep up with the cleaning of the house, like just doing the basics. So by the time December came, I was at my breaking point. There was a passive-aggressive note that was left by the boss's wife, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Here's my 2 weeks. You're lucky you're getting that shit. And I've been back to being a stay-at-home ever since. Even though I'm slowly losing my mind, which is why I am now streaming as I read books. Because, especially this book, it's got some quality content. Especially the cookies and cream ice cream situation. Oh, she says, what if I'm not worth keeping? Oh. She's so worried. Oh, God. Now I'm getting triggered again. God, these internal thoughts that are swirling through her head. I will fully admit I've had thoughts about this. Like, thoughts like this. So, like, it's sad. So, 4 to 5 people to bring up your average? Yeah. Some of her thoughts are, what if I got this all wrong? What if everything I feel is all in my head? What if he's been avoiding me? What if I'm unlovable? What if something unfixable is wrong with me? What if I try for something more with Rowan and I fuck it up? What if he never wants to see me again? I could just leave now. What if I do? What if? Sloan, get out of your head and talk to me, says Lark. Aww. Oh. She's feeling feelings and she doesn't like it. I know that feeling. Oh, she found out his birthday. Yes, you need to do that. So that we can also have Doggo Cam. And we can spoil Honey with your channel rewards. So she found out Rowan's birthday. And Rowan asked her to accompany him at this Best of Boston gala. So she's going out to support him. I mean, I can still give advice. I actually did a cooking stream. When was that? Like a couple weeks ago? Not this week. Last week? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was last week. Thank you for all the bands. Yeah, I could do that. It would... I would actually have to do like a YouTube or like a short, because depending on the meat that I cook, I usually like to toss it in the sous vide. I find it absolutely hilarious. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Couple, like a week and a half ago now, I did one of my grandmother's recipes. And my grandma's been, she passed away 7 years ago. Like literally a couple of days after I gave birth to little koala. And it was her recipe that I grew up on. And I made it, and I substituted the ground beef for ground venison, and it turned out so good. Actually, my husband, who is extremely picky eater, ate the entire thing over the course of the week. And every time he was always just like, oh my god, this is so good. You did such a good job this time around. Because I added a couple new ingredients because I wanted to take out the gaminess of the venison. So it was so good. It's called an Oostburg dish, but that's only because there's a little town north of here called Oostburg, and my grandmother at the time lived in Sheboygan. So the only elk I've been able to actually try was elk beef, not beef, but elk sticks. A lot like hot sticks, well, beef sticks essentially, and they were so fucking good. I actually sent a pack to Bear, Angry Gamer / Lazy Bear. I sent him some bear sticks and elk sticks for Christmas right before I left the meat shop. Now this Oostburg dish it's one that will keep you full for hours. So usually it's ground beef, potatoes, onions, a can of tomato soup, and then a can of baked beans. Now, depending on how much you want to make, you can just double it. And like I said, I took out the ground beef and put in ground venison, and then I cooked the venison and the onions together, added my seasonings, just salt, pepper, whatever you want, really. And then I added some minced garlic. And as all of that was cooking, I really didn't have to drain anything because there was no grease or fat or, stuff that you need to drain like ground beef. And then you start adding, I also added Worcestershire sauce and probably like a 1/4 cup of red wine to it, and I stirred all that up. I cubed about 8 potatoes, and actually I more like quartered them. I left them big, and then tossed those into the pot. You really only need like 4 or 5 depending on how big you want your recipe. The kids just really liked the potatoes, so I put more potatoes in. And then I added 2 cans of tomato soup to 1 can of water, and then 2 cans of baked beans. And I just let that go low and slow for literally a couple hours on the stovetop. I didn't cover it or anything. I just kept stirring because you don't want it to get stuck to the bottom, obviously. But it turned out so good. It was probably the best I've made of that recipe. It went over very well, and it keeps you full for such a long time. But yeah, I could definitely do like a Monday cooking stream or something. I would have to figure out a microphone. Like, I would have to get like a wearable mic, because having this isn't really conducive to moving around and actually cooking. So I could definitely look into that. I do need a better camera. I do want to get a wearable mic, and then I'll be able to actually stream from my kitchen and show you how I cook. But like I said, one of the big things for meat is like if I'm doing pulled pork or steak of any kind, I really like to toss it in the sous vide before I quick sear it and then serve it. But lately I've been making skewers, like shish kebabs, and they have been turning out so fucking good. So I could do like a steak kebab and a chicken kebab one day and show you how I do that. Yes. Yeah, I want to get a lapel mic. I had one for when I did content at the meat shop, because I would have the owner go live. I would have Tommy go live on the Facebook page and give the specials for the week, talk about new products or restocks, what's happening, that he'll be, where he'd be so people can find him. Someone that I follow is Brenda Gann. She uses just a phone, so simple. Oh, interesting. I could do that, but lately the Wi-Fi on my phone is not holding out. And so a lot of the times it connects to mobile data and it's just causing like a major buffer issue and a lag issue. Otherwise, I would totally do it off of my phone. So I gotta play around with it. Maybe I'll do it off of my phone and hope for the best. I could at least do a test stream with it like that. I greatly appreciate the ideas. I can definitely run it one day and see what happens. Fuck it, YOLO, do it live, as Piggy says. But yeah, because I like... Because the kids are just young. Thank you. I appreciate that. The kids are young. They don't really want to learn how to cook yet. And I spend so much time... None of my stuff is working, Bear. I know. I don't know why none of the shout-out stuff isn't working. None of the... Like... I know. None of my stream element commands are working. I'll have to look into that as to why. Because I made sure everything was up to date. Oh no. Yeah, it's been on some shit since I came back to streaming. Because I made sure everything was authorized again. But for some reason, none of the commands are running. So, yay. Just another problem to solve. Yup. I mean, it was bad enough I was having issues trying to get sound going again. You had to walk me through that again. It's always full circle. What's your issues? Oh, well, I'm having issues with my mic and my sound. Can you help me? That's how we met 4 years ago. Hey! I'm having these tech issues. In comes Bear. Hi, I can help you. Great. 4 years later, here we are. But yeah, I can definitely... Yeah, if that's something you guys want, I'll do some cooking streams. It's better than just listening to my own dialogue in my head. Alright. Let's get back into this. So, Rowan is taking Sloan to a... Yes, Rocket League. I don't know. Because that means I have to be in the basement, freezing my ass off, and... You're fine! You're not bothering me. Not bothering me at all. But for Rocket League, yeah, a lot of it too has a lot of it is will hubby's PC run so that I can actually stream it. Because we can't afford to kill that PC when it's got all of our important stuff on there. That, yeah, I really should. I really should. I don't know about awesome recipes. I just kind of throw shit together and hope it works. I was making street tacos yesterday, and I had made some Chipotle fried potatoes and onions for breakfast one morning. So I fried up some corn tortillas, and I got these taco holders for Christmas. So I shaped the shells to stay, you know, open. My Discord links aren't working. My shit's broken. Nope. Scorn. Just it's not gonna happen. Go to bed, Scorn. But yeah, so I made Chipotle fried potatoes and onions, and then I put those at the bottom of the corn tortilla, sprinkled it with I'm probably gonna butcher it because I'm just a white bitch, the cottage cheese, and then I did all that. I did. That was one of the first things I did. I was like, all right, go to Stream Elements, make sure that's authorized. Go to Stream Labs, make sure all of that's authorized. Go to fucking Sound Alerts, make sure that's authorized. Like, I did step by step for all of the things. Good night, King. Sleep well. Feel better. Please do this. There we go. Naughty says so. Yeah. But I made Chipotle fried potato tacos with homemade pico, homemade guac, and the Mexican crema, and they turned out. Oh, and I some scrambled eggs. Even the dog knows that Scorn is just a bitch. Honey has Scorn whipped. He can be so good at listening. He can be such a good boy. But she listens to Rosalind better. Oh, totally. Abso-fucking-lutely. It was actually kind of funny. So, Piggies and I went to a funeral last week. Yeah, last week already. And I had ridden with Amanda, or Piggies, sorry, doxing you. I had rode with Piggies to the funeral and back. Both. And when we got back, Honey has taken to tinkling. Yeah, that is true. Honey has taken to tinkling whenever I come around. And Scorn had made some coffee. And he was drinking it, standing next to the sink. And Scorn made the comment, yeah, me and Ginger Ninja. Me and Ginger Ninja, yes. And Scorn made the comment, like, she only does that for you. She only pees for you. And I was like, oh, she's not the only one I make wet then. And he nearly spit his coffee across the kitchen. His reaction. He did. He did. I was dying. Of course, my sense consistently. It's not from the book. It's not from the book. Just talking in real life. I make a doggy piddle because she's just a baby. Whenever I come around to see Piggy's new puppy, Piggy and Scorn's puppy, she gets very excited. Moist. Okay. Back to the book. So Rowan is taking Sloane to this gala that he's a part of, and he is meeting her at the hotel right now. Yes. Go to bed. I love you. Have a good night. And I'm sure I will be bugging you tomorrow at some point. Yes, go the fuck to sleep. I don't have that book right now. It's actually still in the basement. Is it really harassing if you want it? Wow, that was smooth. No worries, Naughty. Thank you for popping in. It was so good to catch up with you. Heavy panting. Yeah! You're the last one standing. Rowan was very smooth here. Oh, you're gonna stay? You're not going to bed too? So it says, he closes the distance between us and wraps me in an embrace as I fold my arms around him in return. My eyes drifting closed as I take in a deep breath of his scent, warm sage and lemon and a hint of spice. For the first time in the last few hours, my heart slows even though it still hits my bones with heavy beats. Something about this feels foreign yet right. Somehow. Rowan releases me from his embrace, but holds my upper arms in his warm palms. Okay. Alright, Scorn. Then his lips are pressed to my neck where my pulse surges. My breath catches as the kiss lingers for a moment just long enough to etch itself into my memory for eternity. There's an electric charge in the air between us as he pulls away to look down at me with a lopsided grin. How a man can simultaneously look so cocky. That's where you take a bite and put them out of their misery? No! They like each other. They just won't fucking admit it. Well, he is. He's admitted it. She's refusing. But this is smooth, okay? How a man can simultaneously look so cocky while blushing, I have no fucking clue, but it's intoxicating. Exactly. They're not all vampires. This is what's smooth, okay? This is just... wow. Next level. Would have kissed your cheek, he says, as his fingers trace my skin where his lips were pressed, but I didn't want to ruin your makeup. So instead of going for a cheek kiss, he goes somewhere a bit more sensitive. Eventually, yes. Eventually. So apparently he knows her vehicle. She says, "This is very fancy, Butcher. We could have taken an Uber, you know." Rowan catches my hand and holds it on the empty seat between us as I try not to let surprise flicker across my face. I'm not taking the most beautiful girl of the night to the social event of the year in a fucking Honda Accord. What's wrong with a Honda Accord? I ask as a flurry of butterflies dance across my ribcage. I drive one. Rowan scoffs and rolls his eyes. No, you don't. You drive a silver BMW 3 Series. Stalker. You're overdue for an oil change, by the way. Am not. Liar, the car has literally been telling you, change my fucking oil, you heathen, for the last 3 weeks. How do you know that? He grins and shrugs. Got my ways. Oh my god. Oh, they put David in a group home, and he's been a great worker. Of course she had to bring up the cookies and cream ice cream. You know I have not been able to eat ice cream since then, he asks, as I giggle with an onslaught of jabs. I used to love ice cream. Thank you very much. It's not my fault, I wheeze as he finally lets up. I was just ensuring you were informed of the ingredients in case you wanted something sweet to follow your one-of-a-kind dining experience. Yes. Huh. Ooh. She just asked if he would dance with her. Of course they found a fucking target. Dr. Stefan Rotsis. He's a serial killer. He killed at least 6 of his patients over his 15 years in Boston. Maybe more when he was living in Florida. And we can take him out together tonight. Oh, she was hoping he was dancing with her because he's interested. But it's both. It's both. It's the first time I can think of that I'm not excited at the prospect of killing another serial killer. Oh, not where I wanted this evening to go. Oh. You didn't know what that's... Okay, so he had sent her a text saying, I thought when I said we could have some real fun that you knew what I meant. No, I actually didn't get that, but I can see it now. The pause between us feels 1,000 years long. Rowan's thumb lifts my chin, my focus still trapped on my dress until I'm forced to meet his eyes. Confusion is etched between his brows. You didn't know that's what I meant, he asked. Shockingly, I want to have real fun doesn't reliably transfer into I want to murder someone together unless I miss something in Google Translate. And you still came? I swallow and try to look away, but he won't let me. He's taking up all the space in every one of my senses. And no matter how much I want to be sucked into a void, Rowan anchors me right here. Clarity and disbelief twine within his changing expression. He's trying to put his own broken puzzle back together, a new picture emerging. Holy shit, his whispered words are barely audible over the voices and music that surround us, but I feel them as though they're thorns embedded in my skin. His grip on my chin firms, and he steps closer, looming over me, his eyes bouncing between mine. Sloane, he whispers, you're really here. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but I don't ask, not as his gaze lingers on my lips when they part on a shaky exhalation, not when his other hand slowly reaches up to sweep the waves from my shoulder, his fingertips an electric murmuration on my skin as they trace the slope of my neck. Oh, he leans closer, his eyes don't leave mine, his lips are just a thread of space away. And then his phone rings with the sound of a siren. God damn. Oh. Honestly, probably not tonight. Oh. So he sent her a text as she's on her way to the airport. He says, I miss you already. She responds, I miss you too. Are we still on for August? No pressure if you can't, truly. I know you have a lot going on. I fully expect you can't make it. Who would? With a new restaurant under construction and a popular one that appears to be falling apart at the seams, it would be reasonable to expect he would want a year's reprieve. Would I be devastated? Sure, but I would understand, of course. Blackbird. The dots of his incoming reply keep me motionless on the walkway. I will blow this restaurant up myself before I miss it. I'll see you in August. And change your oil, you bloody heathen. And then we go to 4 months later. We are at just about the halfway point in the book. I am going to call it for tonight because my husband will be on his way home, and I promised that I would be available for his phone call on his drive home. So I am going to get ready for bed and say goodnight to all of you. I'm hoping next week sometime I will post in my Discord and the Rage Pirate Discord when I'll be going live again. Hopefully I'll do a cooking stream some point next week. And I will let you all know the next time I'll be able to get back into reading Butcher and Blackbird. Part 1 of this review with the beginning few chapters is already on VOD. This will be up shortly after. But I want to thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. Y'all have been fantastic people. I am so sorry about the rump roast and the cookies and cream ice cream. That was highly unexpected. Great content, though. Like, fantastic content. But have a safe weekend. Have a great weekend. Hopefully all of you stay healthy. Hopefully all of you stay sane. If not, well, you're not my problem. So enjoy your 72 hours. But I will see you all sometime next week, and I will be in Discords. Tag me if you want to chat. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you guys later.